Oh my goodness. Let me get my levels right. I'm not even prepared fully. What's going on, brother? Team No Sleep. What is this? This is March 8th, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. on the left coast. Montel Allen, what's going on in your world, man?
Man, blessed as usual, man. Enjoying the family,
Yeah.
enjoying, the sunshine a little bit before we get a little bit more of that rain and that snow out here. But otherwise, man, just blessed to have another day, see another tomorrow, and so on and so on.
That's true. True. That's true. Listen, you talk about sunshine and all. I was just up in Oregon with the
Hmm.
family visiting my son. First of all, so shouts out to OSU, them Beavers. Shouts out to the Lounge Lodgers. That is my son's crew up there that
Okay.
we got to spend the weekend with. We got a house out there on the water, and there's a lot of snow. There's a lot of rain in Oregon, but it's beautiful country. So I
Yes.
wanted to give a shout out to them, right, to them folks right there. It was good people hanging out. I took my parents, took my in laws, my wife, my daughter. So we all went out there and hung out with Isaiah, and it was pretty cool. So
That's
yeah,
cool. That's real cool.
yeah, man, you got to do those things, right? You got to do those
Hey,
things.
man, you know me, family first all the time. So when it
Yep.
rolls around that season, I'm taking all the kids. We go to Minnesota, and now we're going. Now our new stop is going to be Chicago. So yeah, we got, you always got to do those things and relax, man, and enjoy our company, right? Like
Yes,
we always
sir.
talk about, we don't get enough time that we don't check on each other and do those things. Those things are very important, I think, for anyone to kind of make sure they can conjugate with family and just enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, you gonna start using big words too. Okay, see, we got the regulars in the room, so you gonna start out with big words. Okay, I see how we
Hey,
gonna
man, we
work
got
it
to
out.
treat them right. They know the game. They know
I
what's
love
happening.
it. I love it.
Team No Sleep,
Listen,
tell a friend. Always tell a friend to tune on
tell a
in, man.
friend up in here.
I think we tackling some issues and some things that people just don't realize where the show was kind of going.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into it. So for the folks that are new here, listen, I see some of the regulars jumping in. Appreciate all of y'all for actually bringing on some of your counterparts as well. So we see Kevin, we see Noosh, we see Hicks Senior in the building. Chief is always here, so appreciate that. We tackle the social impact of sport. All right, we get it. We get deep into some conversations that are probably not being covered by mainstream media, and we figure out what's really going on and how we can get better. Y'all know what's going on right now. We're gonna talk about that. Listen, Golden Phoenix City just woke up. It's 6:30. Where you at? Just
It's
woke
all
up.
good.
Oh my
Hey, he
goodness.
woke up to us. No sleep. That's what I'm talking about. Happy birthday, Nooch, too. I saw you
Okay.
tweet. Happy birthday, man.
I
Uh,
love it. I love it. Just
just yeah,
okay.
man. I'm glad. I mean, as long as
See,
you get up
that
and
went over
tune
my
on in.
head. That
Yeah,
went over
yeah,
my head.
yeah. Team No Sleep. You just woke up. It's all good.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. So I got in-laws. I got parents. I got to make sure I'll stay prim and proper here and won't drop too many bad words here. No. Good to see you, Mom Sheila. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get into it. Right. First story. Anyone who follows basketball knows about our guy John Morant. John
Mhm.
Morant out there clubbing, out there doing his thing. Unfortunately, after a game last weekend, um, at the club, partying, drinking. Looks
Mhm.
like he was by himself. I'm sure he has some folks around us, and I want to get into that also, that whole aspect of it as well. But in a video that he launched, not someone else recorded, in an
Mhm.
IG video that he started in IG Live, he's brandishing a gun, partying up, acting all ignorant, and that has caused him a ton of backlash and negativity, rightfully so. All right,
Mhm.
John Morant. If y'all don't know, if y'all don't follow basketball, he is spectacular, right? He can do he can fly like Mike. He can play like Mike. He can do all those things, and kids are watching him. Us old cats are watching him. He's got a really promising future. He's all of 23, 24 years old.
Mhm.
But to be at this tender age, to be that good, to be that visible, and to decide that you need to get on your social media account brandishing a weapon really brings about issues. And this headline says he's out for 2 games, but he's actually now it's been upgraded to 4 games that he's out. He sent
Mhm.
out a update on his social media profiles as well, saying he's going to take time so he can attend to himself, work on his mental health, work on his mental well being. But I don't know, man. I think there's something, and we've talked about this so many times about the people around you
Mhm.
to make sure that you don't get yourself caught up in these kinds of situations. And the real
Mhm.
problem that I have with John Morant getting caught up in a situation like this, who's his biggest front line cheerleader that's always with him? I'm asking you.
His father. His father
His
is.
daddy.
His father is.
It's his daddy that's always with him right
Mhm.
there at the shops, buying all the jewelry, buying all the watches, at the game, sitting front row court. Right. So I'm sure his dad was probably even at this club where and I'm just assuming that, but I don't know. But again, it's the people that you put around you. And he has no one to blame but anyone else, because he's the one who instigated and he's the one who actually filmed this particular session. I'll scroll down on the story, but I just want to get your context on this as well as I
Yeah.
read into it.
I've been kind of following this a little bit since this first happened, and I mean, I'm not making any excuses for Ja Morant. I don't condone his behavior by any stretch of the imagination. But I think Ja made a poor choice,
Mm.
and unfortunately, what he's doing is his reality. And I'm gonna go where I'm gonna tell you where it's the reality. If anybody's been to Memphis, Memphis is one of the unfortunately one of the murder capitals of the United States. It's always in the top 10. It's all those things. Ja's been a person that's probably been in this spotlight for so long of his life, and where carrying a gun is very common in the state of Memphis or in the city of Memphis. Probably his background is where it's common. And he's in a situation where he always feels he has to be protective of himself.
Mm.
So what he did is something that's not uncommon for him. It's okay. It's accepted in where he's from. It's an accepted behavior where he's from. Now, with that being said, I don't excuse him from doing it, because at this point in the juncture in his career, he should know better. Right?
Yeah.
He's at a pivotal point in his career where, man, I'm gonna make a lot of money. I am making a lot of money. I'm a very influential personality. I have all these things going for myself. I have to make sure I do better. But again, at a 23-year-old mindset, he's not thinking that way. And the disappointment in this whole situation is no one's coached him. No one's told him better. Like you said, his father, his circle. The Grizzlies have warned him, but they haven't coached him on how to be a better young individual. I watched the interview with Jalen Rose talking about that he used to carry a gun.
Yeah, the
And it
Jalen Rose
attests
one.
back to his background.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Detroit, where I'm from. Having a gun is not an uncommon thing. And we don't know if Ja has the right to carry a gun.
Right.
If he has the right to carry a gun, this is a different conversation. Because you can carry a gun where you want. The only mistake he has is that he brandished it in a place where there was no threat. That's the only thing he would be guilty of. But if he has the right to carry a gun,
and the location where he was is not pressing charges against him for that. Just wanted to let folks know who probably haven't read the story as well. But yeah, keep on.
Absolutely. But I mean, again, I'm more disappointed. I'm disappointed in Ja, but I'm disappointed in his circle. His circle should know better to protect him from doing dumb things, because you are only 23 years old. So you should be protected from doing dumb things. We should put something in place where they protect you. And he has examples, right? You have examples of LeBron's crew and his friends that he brought in when he came out of high school. They're doing all very well. You have Kevin Garnett that brought his friends with him. They're all doing very well and working in the industry. But yeah, you bring these guys that you run around in your circle, and they're not even protecting you. Like, the one thing you would, at all costs, protect the bag, right? You protect the bag at all costs.
So right there. So let's get into that, because I've been really waiting to have this conversation, because that's it right there. Ja Morant is the leader of his squad, right? He's the bag. He's the one buying all the tickets, buying all the dinners, buying all the watches and all that. He should know better. And he does know better. I think in his mind, he knows better than he knows the influence of what he's doing and what he did. I put most of the onus on the folks around him. I put the onus actually, and I'm squarely looking at his father for this, right? Because his daddy is always there with a drink in his hand and acting like he's the one out there making shots. His dad should be, if he's going to be in that circle partying with his son all the time, that crew, that surrounding infrastructure needs to help this young man at it and make sure that, hey, Ja, you know better now, man. We're not going to bring this gun in here. I know this is this. I know this is probably how we grew up, but we know what? We better than that. We above that now. We multimillionaires. There should be some folks around him, and there are folks around him, but someone needs to speak up. That's I think no one had the courage to speak up.
They don't want to piss off the bag. They don't want to piss off the bag, so they don't speak up.
I don't need these. I don't need these folks around me. I don't have that kind of bag. I don't need that kind of folks around me.
Yeah, but when we got to kind of put ourselves in a state of mind, and also I think it's his father's state of mind. I think his father don't know what he don't know, right? If you ghetto and ignorant, you ghetto and ignorant. You just don't know. You don't know until somebody shows you and teaches you a different way. Again, I've been to Memphis before.
Yeah.
Memphis is a rough area. And you got to think, in his growing up, John's been a star in basketball since the age he was 13 years old.
Yeah.
Right? So the people that took care of them because they lived in meager things, the people that always looked out for great athletes are dope dealers. The big time dope dealers in the neighborhood, the big time gangsters in the neighborhood, they always made sure they managed to keep him out of trouble. But in that same world, it is okay to have a gun. That's what the cool guys in that area have a gun. They have a gun. Whether you agree with the mentality or not, that's what exists. They're okay with having a gun. Johns now is the guy that with the bag.
Yeah.
He doesn't. I don't think he has the aptitude, or he hasn't had to sit down to justify the differentiating that, hey, I can be cool. I don't have to be like those guys in Memphis to be cool.
So doesn't that conversation happen in the NBA similar to how it happens in the NFL? You come in and you have talking about finance, right? Invest instead of buying all the rims and all the houses and
I got a question for you on that one.
Yeah.
Can 6 hours change your life that way? Does it 6 hours change the way of your eating habits? Someone have a 6-hour conversation with you doesn't necessarily change the way you live your life.
Yeah.
It enlightens you. Don't get me wrong, it enlightens you and it makes you aware, but does it change the way you live your life? The most influential person in John's circle is his father. It seems like to me. That's the most influential person. He has to change in order for John to change. If his dad carries around a gun, what do you think his son does?
Come on.
Carry around a gun. So, and where they're from, that's okay behavior. Now, you got to be smart enough to change your behavior once you get in that realm. I don't agree with what John did. I don't even agree with it all. He should be punished. I was just talking to my son earlier saying it should be a mandatory 25-game suspension, period. For you being an NBA player carrying a gun, automatic 25 games suspension. But I'm saying us as a society that's quick to judge him, the Skip Baylesses of the world, and all these white commentators that have no clue where he comes from, needs to peel the onion back. My question to everybody is, why does a 23-year-old that's a multi-millionaire feel that he has to carry a gun? That's a bigger question.
Yeah.
Why does he feel he has to carry a gun? Why in our society with these people that make all this money to do things feel they have to carry a gun to protect themselves, especially within our young black entertainers and our young athletes? To protect them, there's a break there, man. For some reason, they don't feel safe in their own skin doing what they do.
So I almost wonder if it's all right. So let's put some onus. And again, I just want to peel the onion back, and y'all continue to chime in the comments. I see it there as well. I saw Shaq's statements about this, and he likened it to the culture from the rap game. Right, rappers always out there carrying guns, and we keep seeing every other week. Unfortunately, we see someone lose their life carrying a gun, or they're out there at a dice game or at a dominoes game, and someone gets shot. Take off, right? Those worlds are similar but different, right? I mean, there should be, and again, not trying to dumb it down. And I'm again just trying to ask questions. This world of professional sports should be more formal, should be more of a scene where I don't feel that and again, I'm just asking the question. I don't know if I'm even saying the right thing, but I just don't think that being a professional NBA player, basketball player, football player, whatever the case may be, you need to feel that you need to have protection because you go out to have dinner with someone, and that protection being a weapon. I can understand you having some security, having some folks around to make sure, hey, I don't feel like taking pictures right now. Can you keep back? But even though you grew up in that mentality, can't you grow out of that? Should you be growing out of that? And after all of the exposure, after all of the money that you've made, all of this, Ja Morant does not need to be carrying a gun around at this juncture in his life, right? He's got multi-million-dollar coming from Nike. He is the rising star on the Memphis Grizzlies. He is on a trajectory to be on somebody's Mount Rushmore and in somebody's Hall of Fame. But if he keep acting up like this and having the wrong kind of folks around him that are supposed to be helping, leading, guiding, and being positive with him as opposed to just running with him because he got all the cash, then he going to end up dead or in jail.
Well, like I said, why the NBA should be handing out a stiff punishment, 25 games off the bat. I don't care if you're just starting out. You're not going to brandish a gun in our area, in our livelihood, or in our profession, what we're doing, because there's no need for it, right? Because there is no need for it. When it comes to late, But unfortunately, or fortunately, however way you want to look at it, hip hop is intertwined with professional sports. Like you said, it should be a different thing. I don't think so. They're in a different sport. They're in a different twine because those are the guys they listen to. Those are the guys that influence their fashion. Those are the guys that they talk to, and now they have enough money to all hang out and intertwine with each other. Yep. Unfortunately, the violence from hip hop is spilled over somewhat to sports. Not as much. It's more in the college scene or maybe high school scene, but the threat of it's always there, right? If I'm in a club with a big time rapper, that enemy of that rapper deems me as an enemy too because I'm hanging out with this guy.
True.
Right? I'm rolling in the same circle because that's who we hang out with. I think it's a very complex situation, but I think John needs to know better now. Like you said, he has to know. You better know better.
He's and I think giving him a
2-game suspension, a 4-game suspension doesn't do anything. That's not going to do nothing. I'm gonna just make sure I'm more careful. Right? That's that kind of behavior at that point. You need to send a strong, stiff message if you're the NBA. And then also on the flip side, hey man, his father. We got to talk to the people that's influencing around him.
Yeah, I got a problem with. The reason I can't get over this because I got problems with his father. I got problems with that.
I mean,
right?
Yeah, I mean, you can say that. You can say that, but I mean, you got to think. Let's say his father's 20 years older than him, right? He's 43 years old. So his father, I've always said this. His father is listening to the same thing, hanging out the same thing, what he's doing. And the world they come from, because whatever the world they come from, it's entrenched in his father, more so than John. It's entrenched in his father. So drinking a bottle of Hennessy, carrying a weapon around is that's normal. That is normal in Memphis. That's the normal behavior. It's not the normal behavior we grew up in Sacramento. It may not be the normal behavior, the people that are online. But in some areas, that is normal behavior. In Fifth Ward, Houston, that's normal behavior. In South Central LA, it's normal behavior. You can get a gun faster than you can get candy, old candy.
Yeah.
You can find guns on the street faster. You can find 9-letters in the liquor store. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that when that behavior becomes normal, then you don't think when you make it rich, you don't think you're doing anything wrong. Man, you think 90s hip hop is normal, right? We identify when they're rapping, Ice Cube was rapping, we can identify everything he's doing. But we're professionals now in the high tech world. We should have outgrown that, right? But we don't let it leave us.
So you're breaking it down and you're giving us a master class, but you at the end of that discussion, I think you're agreeing with me on this right here.
Yes,
right?
I am agreeing with you.
Okay.
It needs to change.
Right.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Okay.
But I don't think someone like Skip Bayless has the right to call
Skip
him
Bayless don't know what he talk about. And
officially with a gang and all that because they can't understand, they can't empathize with his background.
Skip never laced him up. He never lived on shouts out to Fendall Avenue in Richmond, Virginia. If
he ain't never learned what you don't even know what Oak Park is, right? You don't even know what an Oak Park is or anything like that. I'm saying they don't understand that mentality. I can empathize and understand where John's coming from. Doesn't mean it's wrong. It's wrong. It is wrong.
Yeah.
But I understand where he's coming from. I really do. I understand where he's coming from. He feels that's a normal behavior. That's something that he grew up with. That's something he's kind of entrenched with. That's something that he listens to in his music. That's something that he's around with his boys. That's probably something around with his uncles and his father. And that's something that he grew up with around Phoenix, around Memphis. I really think when he took that video, he didn't think he was really doing anything wrong. I think he was just having a good time, showing what they do in Memphis when they in a strip club at 1 o'clock in the morning.
He didn't look past the moment. And
no,
I think that's also the problem right there. Someone in his position, I'm going to get to these comments because we got some great comments coming as well, and there's some questions. But I just think that he didn't look past the moment and the Hennessy that was in his cup, the beat that was bumping in the club and all that. I said, you know what, I'm going to go online to my fans and to my subscribers. And you know what, I got my piece with me, so I'm going to do this. He was not thinking 2 minutes later it was going to be across the entire planet and he was going to be suspended.
Immaturity and bad decision at his worst. Immaturity and bad decisions at his worst. But again, people, his circle should have been there to tell him what was wrong, and they're not. So they are just as immature or even more immature, and bad decisions be on them because at all costs you protect the bag. You make sure he doesn't do stupid things. You make sure he doesn't drink some bad drink. You make sure he doesn't go home with the wrong woman. You make sure the wrong element doesn't come around him. You do everything in your power to protect the bag. What's old boy that protected Barry Bonds? What's his name? What's his name? The dude that protected him from Balco, all that stuff? The one that went to jail?
I know you're talking about. Yeah, I know
you're talking about. Whoever he is, Ja
Well,
needs him in this corner.
Ja,
That's
yeah,
what Ja Morant needs in this corner.
Ja
A
needs to
dude that's
talk
gonna protect
to.
him at
Yeah,
all
he
costs
needs to talk to
and
some of
make
them
sure
folks.
that he doesn't do something stupid. And if he does something stupid, I'm gonna make sure I make sure I cover it up
Wow.
or whatever happens. But the main thing, avoid him from doing something stupid. We think his father should be the one to do it. I don't know his daddy. I don't know if his dad is gonna fight Shannon Sharp.
Yeah,
Obviously, I'm not.
his
I
daddy
don't
ain't
know.
got
I'm
too
not
much sense.
vibing with him.
Yeah, his daddy don't
He
have
needs
too much
somebody in
sense.
his corner that he needs that guy, that OG in his crew to tell him what's wrong and when it's wrong. And whether you hate me or not, bro, I'm in your best interest. But we can just fight. We can learn to fight about it.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
would fight my kid. Like I was telling my son, I go, if that was you, I would have beat you up
yeah,
before you would have branded
yeah,
that gun. I'd have
yeah,
put some lumps on
yeah.
you before you
We
put something
came
on
to
me.
blows. Come on, we
Yeah,
came
yeah.
to blows right then and there. So,
There's no way you're gonna pull something that stupid. So
yeah,
I think it's a lack of immaturity, man. Definitely a lack of awareness for what's going wrong. But like I said, also on the other side, I flip it. I think the NBA needs to take a harder stance in what they're doing right now. I truly believe. I think the Memphis Grizzlies need to take a harder stand right now to show him we're not playing with you when it comes to this matter.
yeah, yeah.
You either straighten up or this
I
going to
would
be
make
over
a
with.
case out of this. I literally, but
I
I
would
would make an
definitely make a
example
case
out
out
of
of
this
it.
situation because of one, who he is, the stature that he has, and the fact that there are so many of our youth looking at him. Right, so
Yeah,
many folks have his jersey and are saying, "Oh man, let's see what Ja's doing." And for him to be caught up in a situation like this, let's make sure that it hurts
but you
from
know
a
the other thing about it, this kind of behavior that he's been displaying, it's
yeah,
kind of been on that trajectory, right? It's kind of been
yeah,
going that way. So I don't know why people haven't stepped in sooner.
yep,
Like the first incident, I don't know why Pop's like, hold on, you can't be fighting these people in Indiana. I don't care if you disagree with them or not.
yep.
Y'all, that's acting stupid. Matter of fact, you need to cut these dudes off of the crew. Period. They should someone should have had to stood up and stand up for that. And now we're here. Now it's all the way to a head. And like I think Ja probably is a good guy. I wouldn't doubt he's probably a good young man. Understand he's just making some really poor decisions, trying to fit in, trying to be that guy, trying to be liked, chasing. Chris Rock said it best: attention. That's the biggest addiction
Yeah,
we got.
yeah, yeah. That new Chris
He
Rock.
looking
Yeah.
for it. You only do that stuff when you're looking for attention. He's an
All right,
attention.
that's a really good point right there. So if y'all got Netflix, check out the new Chris Rock special. We doing promos for folks. He better send us some of his back.
Yeah, no,
Yeah. Rock made a really good thing right there, right? Because he talked about what are folks doing right now to be visible, right? Either are
well, he
a
said
victim.
the biggest addiction is attention.
The biggest addiction is
The biggest
attention.
addiction in the United States is attention.
Man.
And there's 4 ways of getting it, right? He said there's 4 ways to get it. I'm not going to say it's
Yeah, we're not gonna say it. We're gonna save it for you to go
yeah,
watch
there's
it.
4
Yeah.
ways of getting it. But the biggest things that people are addicted to in the United States is attention.
Yeah.
Ja is a prime example of that. You only do that if you want to draw attention.
Come on, man. All right, let's get to these comments. Eric Watkins in the building. Ja wasn't raised in a poor neighborhood. He was raised middle class with both parents. He should know better. His response to the IG Live was what they want us to hear. Come on. Okay. You in line, brother.
Yeah.
Mr. Kevin is talking about Ja should understand the mentality changes once you enter the NBA. He is a public figure. He can't be fooled around like this. Man, that's all nothing but the truth right there.
Yep.
Nothing but the truth. I saw a couple of other comments that I wanted to get into. Unfortunately, the culture says to be cool, you have to act like the culture of the music, and the lyrics say having a gun is the new cool. And again, that's us doing it to ourselves. That's us, proliferating those songs and that culture and that mentality, those clothes and all that thing, and whatever gun you're carrying around. We got to get out of that too.
Yeah, I just don't understand where we had kind of similar when we were growing up, but that we had a maturity growth, right? We grew out of it. It just seems like it's taking them longer to grow out of that world, especially when you're making that kind of money. Y'all gonna shoot some dice for that?
Yeah. So, yeah, Jim says y'all gonna shoot some dice, and then T. Morant ends up taking the bullet when it goes south. Please be careful out there. Let me position this to you from News Show. He says, question from my brother Montel. Did growing up in a place like Detroit shape up Montel well to the man he is today? So your upbringing, right? Talk a little bit about that story.
Yeah, I'm not. My family, my dad's side is from Detroit. I'm not from Detroit. I'm actually from California. And I was born in Los Angeles. I was my high school years and junior high. I was raised in L.A. I went to college way up in Humboldt County, and then once I became an adult, I moved to the Bay Area for a while, and then I moved to San Diego. So my upbringing it does. I was able to see a lot of things, especially playing college football. We got to travel a lot and see, and I got to meet people from different areas. Some people, I learned a lot from a lot of them. Guys that was from L.A. that was entrenched in gang banging. Guys that was from Oakland that knew all this stuff. So it just made me look at a different introspective when I look at things. I look at things through my lens and how I did whatever I was doing and my hustle and everything. And I had to become an adult early, man. I was a father when I was 19. So I had to raise up really quick, grow up really quick. So at that point I had to make adult decisions. My best friend Tim Wadholm, we were both 19 together growing up. So he let me look through his lens. And he's from Fremont, middle class family, everything. I came from a single house family, only my mother. I just always had the ability to look through different things. So that kind of shapes my perspective nowadays, man. So I hope that answers your question. I hope that answers your question.
Listen, man, we got a handful of other topics, but I'm gonna pause on these because we got some questions in the chat here, and we are here as shepherds of the community, and we just gonna spend a little bit more time talking around this particular topic. MDH is in the building. She says she can't get on board with this circle talk. Why can't he be held accountable for his own choices, including who he decided to put in this circle?
All
right,
I agree.
And
I agree.
MDH coming with truth, right? I mean, that is a really good statement right there. The circle that I'm really leaning on and pointing to is again the guy who carries the keys to his car, his dad, who's always there in front, dancing in front of everybody, trying to fight Shannon Sharp. That should be your biggest role model. That should be the guy that's really there to make sure that you, my son, are well taken care of, that you don't do anything crazy when you go out there after a game, before a game, to a new city or whatever. You don't do anything to disrespect you and your name and your family's name. And I would just think that person around him, that part of the circle, should be more proactive, more proactive in making sure that the bag is taken care of. And I hate to diminish it by calling it just a bag, but just making sure that the principle within the circle is well taken care of. Your thoughts, man?
I think she's right. I agree with her. I think he needs to be held accountable, and that's what I'm thinking. The NBA should be able to step in and say, "Hey, this is no frills, no, we're suspending you 25 games, period, off the rip. Anybody that carries a gun in the NBA that we find out, you're going to be suspended 25 games." And I think he should be made an example of that. Also, I believe he should be held accountable to a circle and everything. But then again, I don't know if Ja didn't have a carry permit. Like if he did, you got to think if he didn't have a carriage permit, it's more detrimental, right? He didn't have that. But I was speaking to a friend of mine today, Jay Lee. If he had a carriage permit and he was okay to have the gun, the only thing he's guilty of is brandishing the gun in a public place when there's no threat. That's a different kind of irresponsibility and thought process than if he just got a gun off as one of his friends and he's just waving it around being silly. None of us know what it is as far as that part is concerned. Again, NBA needs to handle out a strict. Hey, we're not, like you said, we're going to hold you straight accountable. You had a gun, you're suspended for 25 days, 25 games. I don't care. And then now, in that 25 games, when you spend it, you better clean up your circle. Whether it's Pops, Mom, and whoever's in there, you better clean it up. So, I don't give him a pass for doing what he did. I'm not giving him a pass. He's 100% responsible. Now he has to answer whoever the responsibility is. I think right now it's just going to be the NBA. Colorado's not pressing no charges. They already said it. So there's no criminal charges on that part. He's got to deal with, did he fly that gun in there or did he get it? He has to deal with that part. And the next part he has to deal with the NBA. NBA needs to send down a strict ass message.
Yeah.
And say, we're not dealing with it no more. So if that comes down, I think that'll help him hold his accountability and all those things. And like you said, James, his father. His father is it seems like he's the biggest role model in his circle. I think he's the first one that needs to step up and say something and make sure he gets cleaned up.
I think so too. And I like Chief is saying, I mean, if we think about who some of the other stars in the NBA are that aren't acting a fool, my man Dame Time, right? Maybe Dame need to reach out to young Ja, right? Just put him under his wing and say, "Come on, man, right? Come, you can't."
I mean,
I mean,
I,
I have seen nothing, and not that I'm looking, but Dame is high up there. He's in the rap game too, right? Look, Dame
yeah,
is out there in both industries, right? So
but
he's out there living that
Dame
rapper
carries
life,
himself a lot different.
carries himself a lot
But
different.
Dame's background is different than Ja's. Dame comes from Oakland, a little bit different. I know
Look,
I've been
Oakland.
in those areas.
Come on now, you know
Huh?
Oakland too. Now Oakland is
Yeah,
is,
but he
is
lived. He lived in Oakland, then he moved to Antioch. It's different. It's a little bit different than going to Memphis.
This boy said, "Yeah, that's true. Antioch is
Yeah, it's
different."
different.
Shouts
That's
out to
different. I
Antioch.
mean, and I'm not negating Oakland. Oakland's tough is a tough place to grow too. And I know a lot of these guys come from really hard backgrounds. I really do understand that. But I also say, hey man, I'm not agreeing with him. I'm never saying he's wrong. I'm saying I can understand though why he carried a gun. I can. I can. But shit, I got this money. I'm gonna go hang on my friends. Hold on, but where I'm from, we carry a piece everywhere I go. I got
Mm-hmm.
friends from the South that carry a gun. That's just where they're from. Whether they use it or not, no. Do they brandish it? No. Are they 62 million strong and on TV every night? No.
Nope.
So I get where he's coming from. It's wrong. It is wrong. I'm telling you, it's wrong. Someone needs to preach it out to change it. And the people in his current circle, up to this point, didn't do anything. They let him get away with whatever he wanted to get away with and do what he wanted to do. Hangs around whatever crowd he wants to hang around, do all those things. And I'm saying somebody in that circle or his dad should have stepped up and saw these things that were going wrong and cleaned it up right away because they have the power to do that. All of them are feeding off a job. Everybody's feeding off a job. There's
Right.
no way I'm getting that cut off.
Right.
If I was
Don't mess that
I'm
up.
not getting it cut
Don't
off.
mess that up. Right.
No.
We all need mentors, but is he letting himself be mentored? That's a great question, and I think only Ja can answer that. We can only speculate, and I'm gonna bring up this statement here from Jim. Man, he's talking about the media wants us to bash Ja and distract us from the fact that Myers Leonard anti-Semitic self is back in the league. And Jim, we are not the typical quote unquote media, so we're not bashing anyone. We're having that discussion. So I just want to be clear on that.
Yeah.
Our conversation here is around who, Ja, what he did, why he did it, and how to get better, right? Because again, it could have been substantially worse. And again, he could have been out there kind of like one of these next stories that we're going to talk about. He could have actually misfired or something, twirling the gun. It could have gone off. It could have been
He could have done Plexico Barris,
yeah.
right? Remember when he shot himself in the club? Plexico Barris shot himself in the club.
Plexico shot himself in the foot.
So
no, he did.
It could have been.
Did. It was his foot. That's right. Oh, come on.
Yeah. The gun's not only a danger to the people that are around him, it could have been a danger to himself.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying the NBA, since the NBA is going to be the governing body and set the tone, NBA needs to be like, we're going to really like you said, we're going to set a really strong example to make sure our players don't want to carry guns no more. If you're going in a situation where you need to have a gun, you better either high security or you know what, don't go. They don't go. Period.
Don't go. There it is. All right, folks. We're going to keep up on that one, but social impact story always takes a little bit extra time. Appreciate everyone for chiming in on that. We may have a little bit detailed discussion on this next story too, because
this is
man, tough. I mean, hold on, let me take a drink too. Hold on, let me make sure I got all the comments up. Man, all right, so let's go ahead and get into it, man. We got a theme here, and we got an unfortunate theme with a couple of these stories. This story, so the previous story, this story, and the next story. Y'all tell us what this theme is. All right, young brother here pleaded guilty already to weapons possession a number of months ago. Now, Keith Appling has now been found guilty of murder, right? 66-year-old man. So used to play basketball for Michigan State, right? Was actually pretty good. I looked back and saw some film of him, knew what he was doing out there on the court. So now this man is going away. This man is going. Is he? What is it? 40 years?
Yep.
Yeah. So Appling, who pleaded guilty to second-degree murder last month, has been ordered to serve between 18 to 40 years behind bars, in addition to 2 years for a felony firearms charge in the fatal shooting of a 66-year-old man back in 2021. The theme for I'm not going to talk about the theme, but again, here we are again looking at a young man right here. Life is over. Two lives are done. Right, one literally, one figuratively, and then the families around us. So again, the blossoming up onion around both of these family situation is just tragic. There's nothing good about this on either side, but there is some closure, there is some fruition. But again, this young kid is now going to spend probably 4 decades behind bars for the death of Clyde Edmonds. I'll go and say his name, right? 66-year-old Mr. Clyde Edmonds lost his life in 2021. Your thoughts on this situation and kind of where we're progressing in terms of these types of conversations, man?
It's just another sad case. I mean, we have another young man with a gun. You know, I don't think I think he meant to shoot him, but accidentally shot this man during the situation and killed him. And
Yeah.
now he has to go to he's going to jail. You know, for like in 18 to 40 years. Like you said, another promising young man that went to school, not only played college football, basketball, but he also played a little bit in the NBA as well. And then he finds himself in this situation. Like, it's a tiring thing. It's something that we keep going over again with different people, but it happens over and over and over again. And it's happening more frequently amongst athletes and amongst our young athletes. You know, we got the Alabama situation with a gun.
Yes.
We got this young man, you know, removed from college basketball. I think he's only been removed for like 2 or 3 years. He's not that old. He's, you know, had a gun and he pled to the gun charge, and then all of a sudden they found out he's guilty of murder. Now he has to do now it's a whole different ball game. He actually pulled the trigger. I mean, man, it's sad. This is sad. I mean, it's really sad. I don't know where we're going. What's happening in our society?
Yeah. I mean, and we don't
this situation.
Yeah, and you know, and we don't have to get political about it, right? It doesn't matter where you are, left, right, center, blue, red, green, yellow, whomever the case whatever the case may be. But these facts don't lie, right? Again, and when you got 23-year-olds, when you got college juniors, freshmen, sophomore out there getting into altercations with 66-year-old seniors. Because that's what this was a disturbance, an altercation, and then Keith Appling unfortunately shot the man and he died. Why does it escalate to that point? And then again, I just asked the question, why do we have to carry around a gun all the time?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, but we're dealing with I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're dealing with this situation that just recently happened. Yeah. We're dealing with what happened in Alabama. We're dealing with what happened in New Mexico. You know, those guys, you know, New Mexico season got suspended because somebody got killed from a basketball player. Man, this common thing is crazy because how are these young men getting so much accessibility to guns?
Yeah. You know what? And I'll just go ahead and bring up the other story. I'll just bring up the other story as well too, right? Again, the Joe Mixon story.
Joe Mixon situation, the same thing, dealing with guns. I mean, we're in a situation. I mean, we're in a state that, you know, I'm agreeing with Colin Kaepernick. It's too many damn guns. I don't know when. I have no idea when we're ever going to hold the NRA responsible for wrongful deaths. Because the bottom line, if you spill hot coffee on yourself at McDonald's, guess what? McDonald's is wrongfully you get to sue McDonald's because you dropped hot coffee on yourself. It was too hot to drink. When are we going to be in a situation where we can sue the NRA for all these wrongful deaths? And, you know, and for me, I'm biased of it because it happens in our community and to our people.
Yeah. That's why it sticks out. I'm really, and that's why it resonates with us so much. And we talk about this. And I mean, Chief hits it on the head. We hate having these stories, right? It's sad that every single week we got to have this type of a conversation. Tired of having this conversation. I'm tired of thoughts and prayers. I'm tired of hashtags. I'm tired of talking about surround yourself with the right kind of people because you in a club and you're shooting yourself or with this Joe Mixon situation, they were at his house and they were playing Nerf wars. They were playing what seemed like an innocent game of Nerf wars, right? Kids running around, and someone went and grabbed an actual real gun out of Joe Mixon's house and shot someone. They didn't pass away, but you know, again, someone got shot. Messing with having guns readily available, loaded guns readily available and accessible to anyone. So
Is to me, man, it's just like I don't know when the mentality changed, man. Like I was discussing with somebody in our day, you know, our protective mechanism was our fists, right? We
yeah,
fight it
yeah,
out.
yeah,
After that, the worst it could get is maybe somebody threw a bottle or maybe somebody got stabbed or a razor blade or something like that. It got to that point, but you could still live. And at some point, man, from in my existence, it's went from that to where the first thing I'm doing is getting a gun. I'm so mad at that they deem to see themselves as so mad or so angry that I got to go get a gun.
yeah,
And that's where I'm sorry, I'm lost. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I can't explain it. I don't know what happens that way, but I don't understand why getting the gun is the first mechanism to a disagreement or an argument or even an altercation. Why is gun the number one? That's what we go to now. That's it. If there is no, anytime somebody has an altercation, we've seen it over and over again. I'm going to the car to get it. If they don't have it on them, if I don't already have it on them, I'm shooting.
yeah. I mean, I remember back in our, it was good to fight and live another day and be able to talk madness for about a week, and then maybe patch it up after a month or so, right? And be cool, right? It didn't always happen like that, but again, I think there was
I
just
don't. I,
more respect of actually going and meeting someone in the middle of the park. Now I'm talking about business here. Watch out, mom and dad and mom.
yeah, yeah, no,
Meeting
no,
in the
but
parking lot, right, and throwing
yeah,
them up and fighting and doing whatever we need to do, and then scattering, and then we all shake hands and have amends a month later.
the argument disagreement was fisticuffs. Like,
Yeah,
all right, that's it. You got me, you got you. Anything, your friends against their friends. Like we all fighting, but it was always a fight, like a
yeah,
fist fight. We lived another day. There was no problem, but there was no gunplay. But now the situation is it's automatically gunplay, no matter, and it's gunplay when it's just a disagreement. It's a
yeah.
verbal disagreement. I don't agree with you. You don't agree with me.
You
You know
step
what?
on my
I'm gonna shoot
shoes.
you. I'm gonna
you
shoot
you
you.
you step on my shoes, or you spill a drink on
Yeah.
my new blazer or my new pants.
Yeah, I can't apologize, right? I can't be like, yo, man, I'm sorry I
You
did that.
know,
Apologize.
come
That's
on
not even
now.
the case no more. It's like, you stepped in my blood. Then the argument comes. Now I'm gonna go get into it. I'm not
Yeah,
even getting into a fight. I'm gonna shoot you. Like this,
are we really that soft now? Are we?
I,
That's what I said it. Are we really that soft and just don't want? Okay, I'm not.
the proof is in the statistics. Yes, we are that
Damn.
soft.
All right, put me in my
So you
place.
can't
So
say
yeah.
that you can't. It is. It's
Mm,
innocent. They're that soft where they don't want to fight. They don't want to get humiliated because they lost. They don't want to do all those things. And I don't even condone fighting. I'm saying we could be on a verbal disagreement.
yeah,
A verbal disagreement. I don't like your Raiders, and you don't like my Rams.
yeah,
I don't like your team.
yeah.
The first inclination isn't to talk it out. It's not even a fight anymore. It is to go get a gun and kill you because you don't like the Raiders. I don't understand. I don't think kids understand how stupid that even sounds.
You don't
And
own
you know
any
what?
stock in the company. You not own anybody's board, but you just a fanatic. So you want to go to that.
And that's just an example. I'm just saying we argue and we fight and we kill each other over minor things.
Yeah,
I don't even know what he got in an argument with the old man about. I really don't. I don't know I don't even think they talked about what they got in an argument about. But whatever it is, it's nothing they couldn't have talked about.
true.
I've argued with older men before it. It was a conversation. I ain't want to shoot him. I
Yeah.
ain't have no. My thought process wasn't even nowhere ever to get a gun. Even if I felt threatened, it wasn't to get a gun. If I felt threatened, I'm like, let me remove myself from the situation and leave.
All right.
I don't.
So where's let's bring it back. Let's have a learning
Yeah.
experience because we always like to have this. So where is the call to action? We're having a discussion. We're going deeper in it than anyone else. Than ESPN, CBS, MSN. No one else is going to go this deep into these particular 3 or 4 stories. What's the call to action that we can tell folks listening and watching and community? What can you tell us and tell everyone as well? What's the call to action to just do better and be better?
I don't have an answer, man. Now, when it comes to this gun stuff, I really don't. I mean, you say write our senators. We say go vote. We say more police protection.
Yeah.
Can't trust the police. The police beat our ass.
Mm-hmm.
We can't. We can't do this. I got to protect myself. We can't do this. And I mean, people think like those neighborhoods, even though they're poor, even the poor neighborhoods, 99% of those people are great people. All they want to do is work and do their thing. It's the 1%.
Yeah.
The 1% that's out there wild playing with gunplay. and it's sensationalized in music, obviously in movies it's sensationalized. But now we're getting, like I said, we get to a point now, even if it's just a verbal disagreement. It's not, I didn't hurt you, James. I didn't do anything to you. I never even put my hands on you. We had a verbal disagreement in the club because I accidentally bumped into you or stepped on you, or I bumped into your girl, stepped on you.
Yeah.
We're arguing about whatever. Boom. And nowadays it doesn't have to be that. I just can't be from the same neighborhood. I'm from the other side. I'm from the other side of the tracks. That automatically, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to get my
automatically. You don't know nothing about me. You know,
yeah.
just because I lived on Main Street and you lived on L Street, we have problems. What?
We have problems, and guns.
What?
There's too many guns in the streets, man. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
There's too many guns in the streets. People, and they don't want to clean it up. If we look at it, the big picture, NRA doesn't want to clean it up. That's good business for them. Hey, they kill. There's more guns gonna come. People want to go get more guns. They want to get scared. They're gonna be protected. No one wants to do anything. But my question to them, and hear me out real quick for NRA. Okay, you want to keep making guns. With the technology we have today, why don't we track guns? How come there's not a chip in every gun like we got in every phone? So if there's a shooting or there, we can solve the case right away, right? You have to register your gun with this chip. Why is the NRA? Why? Okay, we're not telling you to stop making guns. We're telling you to make guns better, traceable, and trackable. You know, they always want to pass gun laws, but gun laws doesn't affect the people that's killing people in our hoods because those guns aren't registered or bought legally anyway. They're not bought from a store. And if they are, that's bought from a store. Somebody takes it from them in a robbery or whatever, and then it's used that way. I've never heard of them finding a guy. My registered gun was the one that did a drive-by. That's never the case. The gun is thrown. The serial murder spread. What ending the drive-by is done. It may be my gun, but somebody took it like 3 or 4 months ago and it's circling on the black market. I'm saying if NRA really wants to do something about it and really cares about the community people sell to, put a tracker in it. Put a tracker in every gun. That way we know where the gun is shot, fired at, where it's done, and the time, and we have a timely response, right? Because we know where it's done at.
That's
technology's
admirable.
there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's admirable, but I mean, we know about technology that can elude that. We know about the ghost gun technology. We know about 3D printing, but that's admirable of where you're going and what you're saying, and I agree with you 100%. Like this comment too. It's a societal problem. People's fuses are so short, and they feel disrespected. It's all an excuse to control their environment. That's getting back to it seems like a lot of the conversations that we talk about are purposeful for a reason. They get back to the mental awareness issue, mental health issues. They get back to kind of that core family unit issue. They get back to just kind of some basics that somehow, somewhere got left or got lost or got forgotten. Don't know what it is or why it is, but there's just a lot of these negative stories, like Chief was saying, like Mama Sheila was saying, societal issues. It's always kind of the similar communities that are having these kind of problems. Unfortunately, it's almost lost away somewhere.
Is it individuals issues within that society? Like I can't blame it all on society because there's good people in those communities.
Mm-hmm.
There really are. There are really some really great people in those societies. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. People get frustrated, and those environments are very tough to get out of. And I can understand they feel hopeless and all these different things and going in it. But there's thousands of people in that community that feel that same way, and they don't go kill people. Gunplay is not the first reaction to them. So I use that to a certain degree. Yes, it's mental health, but I think it's more than that, man. I think we really have a break in our community structure. And in some parts, it's like it's okay. It seems like it's okay. Yeah. Look at this. I just got to think of one thing. Sean Kemp just got convicted of something of a shooting.
Wow.
Sean Kemp, the ex-NBA player, just did a shooting just now. I just got over my feet just now.
Wow. Well, so we'll be covering that next week. That's
we'll cover that next week. So we got it's too many guns. Yeah, breaking news. Sean Kemp booked for allegedly drive-by shooting.
All right, so I'm gonna put a call out to the community, and the community has always been awesome. If you know someone in law enforcement, if you know someone in legislation who you think would be courageous enough to come on here and talk to us, with you, about these types of issues, reach out to us and reach out to them. We'll do the heavy lifting. But if you can just give us a name, an email, or anything, phone number, or anything like that, because us having just these conversations within the vacuum, we can Monday morning quarterback and we can pretend to be psychologists and sociologists and all that, but we can talk from a common sense perspective. But I'd love to have someone who is still literally out there in the streets, a police officer who was out there in Oakland on Hagenberger, who was dealing with these issues. I made you flash back, but listen, I've been out there.
But I think about it, man. We've been talking about this we've been talking about. That's 4 gun stories we've been talking about within 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And one just popped up.
One just now
another
popped up.
NBA
Here it is
player,
right here. Yeah.
Sean Kemp. This is crazy. There's a problem with guns. I'm sorry, there's a problem with guns in the United States. And gun advocates I know there's gun advocates, they think you should have the right to bear arms and all that. And I get it. I understand that. But I'm sorry, there's too much guns being made. I know NRA I know they were saying the manufacturers make so many guns. It's enough to have a gun for every man, woman, and child in the United States. Why do we need so many guns? Why is you as a gun collector need to have 10 guns? I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't, and I don't know. And we can never hold nobody accountable, right? Or we can hold the shooter accountable, right? We can hold and obviously the victim, but there's a higher cause to that. We hold doctors. We hold everybody accountable when it comes to wrongful deaths or death situations, except for people that manufacture guns. If a doctor does something to you, you can sue him, right? Or does something to your family member, you have a recourse. Everybody else has a recourse except for guns, and that's the most mass killers we got out there. I just can't relate, man. I can't.
Yeah,
it just ain't in my DNA.
It's a bigger problem
that
obviously can't be swept under the rug. And again, I put that call of action out to the community. Help us to help you. Right. So if you know someone, I see a ton of folks watching on Twitter. Come on over to YouTube so you can leave some comments. But that's normally where the most.
I'm saying help me understand, because I don't.
Yeah, like I say, help me to help you. That kind of thing. All right, so there's the Sean Kemp story. So we already went into it just now. If there's any updates by next week, we'll go into that as well. One more negative story, and then we get into some stuff on even keel, man. Because man, this is right here. Oh, but the thugs who put. Okay, but it's the well.
Is it thugs that pull the trigger all the time?
Is it the thugs that pull the trigger? I'm a little dead air, little silence right there. I don't know.
I'm gonna say no. All these situations, they're not thugs. You think that basketball player was a thug in Michigan State? Yeah. I don't think he was a thug.
Yeah.
And I would say, what's your definition of a thug?
There you go, right there. Respectfully, and just like you said, Jim, respectfully, I would love to have that dialogue. Man, listen, man, you've been in the comments for too long. You family, man. Jim, send me an email, man, so we can get you, get Chief, get some of these folks online. Get Kev, get a whole bunch of folks. We'll have a round table. We'll all sit around drinking Sly, our energy drink of choice. We'll all sit around drinking Sly, and we'll get all y'all on screen. There it is, man. Go ahead and represent. Okay, so talking sports. Wisconsin boys basketball team went out there, just wanted to play some ball. It was an away game. They went out to another Wisconsin school. Don't make me pronounce the name because, oh my gosh, the Muskego, Muskego. Yeah, predominantly white school. The team that they've been playing, the Beloit. Gosh, man, why can't I pronounce these names? Beloit.
I can't pronounce them either, so I'm leaving that to you. Yeah.
So Beloit Memorial High School is a more diverse school, right? But the other school, Muskego, is a predominantly white school. Beloit was going to Muskego to play. Come to find out that they didn't like the diverse school. A lot of the students, may have been some older folks there as well, but a lot of racial epithets were being thrown. Come to find out that a lot of swastikas were actually drawn on top of the lockers in the visitors' locker room. So there's some anti-Semitic activity. There's some racist activity. There's there's this versus that, and apparently the kids as well decided that they wanted to dress up as I'll use Jim's word, thugs, gangsters, whatever. They decided to wear the pants down with the bandanas and with the mask on or whatever to kind of intimidate or whatever to the kids. And this is this week. This is
Mm-hmm.
1940 something. This is this week,
Mm-hmm.
2023 in Wisconsin. Kids that are being intimidated by not the players for the team, not but the other students and the other student body from the home team that they were playing. That's a problem, man. Can't even go play basketball against a rival, an inner city rival, interstate rival. You got a mixture of cultures, you got a mixture of whatever, but it's the external student body who is hazing and chastising and calling you everything outside of your name, flashing
Mm-hmm.
swastikas, calling you, making monkey sounds as it says here as well. This is just horrible in terms of what's going on. A D1 school too, right? So schools that actually get some money for their sports.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the situation that's happening right here. Here it is, right here in the headline. This is 2023, y'all. This isn't
Yeah.
again back in the 60s, 40s, or whatever the case may be. So, thoughts on this, man?
Disgusted,
Mm,
disgusted by their behavior, disgusted by their school administrator, disgusted that they let those people still stay in there in the gym while they're doing that to these other young people while they're trying to play basketball, making monkey now sounds and calling them the N word. I
yeah,
mean, it's sad. It's literally just sad that that happened for one, and two that the school let that condone it happen during the game. Like you should have kicked everybody out and let them play by nobody if that's where they're going to have their attitude is going to be. And the fact that you're going to draw swastikas and have all these things on there, I mean, you're obviously trying to intimidate them and make them feel definitely that they're not wanted. But it's just disgusting, man. We're in 2003. That to me, kids emulate what's at home. I'm sorry, kids
come on,
emulate what's
yeah,
at home. So if at home it's okay to use that word and yell at the TV and call them this and call black people this or Latino people this on the TV or anyone around there, then they thought it was okay to do that and cheer it in the stands. They felt it's okay. That's behavior from home that these young people are emulating. If it's not adults, also this in the crowd. It's just sad, man. It's really sad. We talk about these, you know, we talk about being, unified and all those things, but and we talk about a country just being divided. We're not only divided in an adult state, we're divided now in a lot of these teenage states and where these kids are at, these young people. It's terrible, man. It's really terrible that it's like that.
So
there's not too
that
much
needs to
more to
be
say.
corrected. That needs to be fixed. And I love the fact that you went ahead and said what I was thinking as well. It starts where? It starts at
At
home.
home, man. Yeah,
Right. This
that
is
starts
learned
at home
behavior.
behavior, man.
This is learned
Yeah,
behavior. And
yeah.
love showing the video piece right there because again you saw the teams, the squads, no animosity,
They're
right?
fine.
It was
Yeah,
sportsmanship. Look, good game, woo woo. But then when you pan over and you look at those students, the student body that was standing up against the fence, that's where all the
mm-hmm.
problems were. And again, like I said it as well, I guarantee there was more than just student body that was out there calling somebody something
Yeah.
and waving flags and waving fingers and things like that. So that's just it's unfortunate. It's
It's really
unfortunate.
unfortunate. And you know what's crazy about that? I guarantee you, if somebody would have been really offended and punched him in the mouth, the person that threw the first blow would be the person they would be
Yeah,
causing. This is how it is. This is how the situation is.
yeah,
You got to rise above that. You need to
yeah,
rise above that. I hate when people tell you you need to rise above that. No, you should have never said it.
yeah.
I
Should
shouldn't
have
have to
never.
rise above anything. You
Don't
shouldn't
put me
have
in
to. You
that
should
position.
never
Don't
have
put
said
me
it.
in that position. Don't test me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Don't
Why do
test
I
me.
got to rise above?
Yeah,
Why do I have to rise above your behavior?
yeah,
No, you shouldn't say it.
yeah.
And if I get to a point
I
where I'm
can't be
tired
like
of it, I want
Jesus
to
all
be
the
listening.
time. I can't turn the other cheek. I mean,
Yeah,
come on
yeah,
now.
man.
You don't have to.
Yeah. No, I'm more Malcolm. I'm not Mountain. I'm not Martin. I'm more Malcolm than anything.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying? I
more,
love it.
and
That's
I'm
it.
not a tough guy. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not a person that looks for trouble. But I'm saying if you're gonna put me in that situation, then I'm gonna handle it the way that I feel fit. And I don't think you need to tell me to rise above it. No, you should have never said it, or you should have never did it, and then we wouldn't have been in the situation in the first place.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, man. There we go. There's on that one. Listen, I got some old school dude in the building. Pat Haugen. Good to see you, brother. Quality of the video as a chef, man. That's quality and that's appreciated coming from you. Thanks for joining Team No Sleep here this Wednesday. Now let's get into some little bit lighter news, and maybe maybe we can crack a smile, crack a joke, whatever the case may be. But uh, MMA,
Yes.
I don't watch it. I really don't.
Mhm.
I don't watch it a lot, but I only watch it for, the Conor McGregor. I only watch it for certain big name things that are happening. And you know me, I like the story piece. I like what's
Mhm.
behind what's going on, and when it matters and when it resonates. This story right here. Go ahead, young lady. Go ahead,
Yes.
Alisa Grasso. Alexa, I'm sorry. Hold on. Oh Lord. Let me make sure I didn't just kick off my Alexa right there when I said that. But I think she did just say so. Alexa Grasso, Mexican-born MMA fighter, went out and did the Muhammad Ali thing. She shook up the world.
Yep.
She won this past weekend. Was not expected to win against the heavy favorite, but sure enough, went out there and put her in. What's the hold here? Let me find out what the
I was
hold was.
submission hold. I know that. It was a submission
Yeah,
hold.
listen, put
Yeah.
her there. There's the picture of the hold right there. But old girl ended up tapping out, and we now have more diversity in every sport. I do love the fact that more women are out there doing big things, doing good things, and something like this. And I love the underdog story. I love the fact that this young lady went out there, flyweight champion of the world. Now they're gonna be a rematch pretty soon, but
Oh yeah.
she going to keep them flowers for a minute. Keep this belt for as long as you can, because you won it, you deserve it, and just the fact that she was able to do it on the big stage with so many people in the room in Vegas, right? Because they weren't expecting her to win; they were expecting
Yep.
the other favorite to win, but she shook up the world there. So, I mean, that's good news, right?
No, man, I think that's that. I mean, when I sent it to you, I was like, man, this is one of them feel good stories. I mean, her story, she's fought her way back from a lot, and she came in there and she just got on her and won. Won under. She just beat the champ. I mean,
Yeah,
I can only imagine that feels. And the fact, I'm close to San Diego, close to Arizona, where it's a big in Los Angeles, where there's a big, large Latino population, and I know that I know it was a big story here. It's very proud of her what she's done and what she's able to accomplish. So, man, I wanted to give her flowers on our show, and just
yeah,
like, man, we're all proud of you, man. I mean, she went in there and did something no one else has been able to do, and she took that title, and now she's the very first one. Now she's setting the stage for, I'm sure, other Latina fighters that want to get into the MMA world. I'm pretty sure now she's probably the standard to get there. So that was a good thing. Good thing.
yeah. We get flowers where flowers are due. We get flowers where flowers are due, and along that route, we got a recommendation from someone within the community talking about the Lady Wildcats, Louisiana, girls basketball. They went out there and did what they needed to do 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
It had taken them 25 years to win their championship. They did it last year. No, repeat maybe. I mean, again, it's pretty tough to repeat even at the professional level. They messed around. They messed around and went out there and did it one more again. So
Hey,
hey, shouts out to the Lady Wildcats out there in Louisiana from what's the name of the school? Wasman. Man, come on now.
I mean, you got to shout out to them, the coaches, staff, the school for supporting them. I mean, every way, which way to go. And like you said, you didn't win it for 25 years, and you come out and get it back to back.
You got to
Man,
give them the props on that,
you
right?
got to give you got to give them their props, man. And Louisiana, and I'm sure these young ladies don't get get a lot of recognition on the big stage. Probably maybe only in the state or in the city they're in. I'm glad we're able to give them a shout out, and I wish them nothing but the best. Let's go for that trifecta though next year.
Watch
Get
out
that
now.
three-peat
Then
on.
you got a dynasty, right? See,
You got
then
a
you got the
dynasty now. Yeah, you get that three dynasty on there now.
yeah,
And you know what? I hope that opens up the door. Now, I also acknowledge one women's sports and women basketball, which is I always rant and rave about it all the time. But I hope this opens up the door where they can have travel ball like the men's, right? How come these teams can't travel nationally like some of the men's do? Like the academies. I forgot the name of the academy in North Carolina that travels and plays everywhere. When LeBron was playing, he was a star. He was traveling to New York to play. I hope these young ladies, now that they got back-to-back titles, they're able to travel around across the country and play other powerhouse teams in other states.
Yeah, yeah,
Western Road stand up. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's up. That you know what I'm saying? Good things for good people, and we want to give them flowers. I want to before we go into this last story, so apologize folks, we just a little bit over time, but we right at an hour, but you know, we went
Yeah.
deep into some of the other topics. I want to get into this particular comment as well in regards to the basketball team.
Okay.
Shameful. Amador County had a football team that had members doing racist things, and their football season was canceled by the superintendent because the behavior wasn't acceptable. The coach and the athletic director and the principal were put on leave. This is that school that I was telling you about that's literally down the
Sacramento.
road, right up the
In
street.
Yuba, right? That's the one in
Yeah,
Yuba,
right. I
right?
mean,
Yeah.
right down. I
Yeah.
can drive by that school every single day. And again,
Yeah.
these kind of things are unfortunately still prolific within society, within communities, and got to be corrected. Got to be
Yeah.
the
Well, I
training at
mean,
home, the training within the education system, the training for the students. Just it has to start not just somewhere. It has to start everywhere. The conversations
yeah.
on correcting these things.
Just funny, as liberal state as California, we're dealing with that same situation that's dealing somewhere where people would think it's a
Yep.
country like
There you
Wisconsin.
right.
So that shows you how powerful, that racist behavior can be. You know, it's everywhere. It is everywhere. I mean, but the one, me personally, I always prefer say it to me. I want to know because I want
Yeah.
to know where I stand.
Good point.
I want to know where I stand. If you're gonna say it. All right, cool. We're gonna argue about it and all that. But I want to know where I stand with it. If I can get that because this racism is sneaking up on people that's behind closed doors, especially the one in you. But that was some crazy behavior there had. Those situations, man, we need to address them and hit them swift. Hit them swift, hit them hard, make people understand that it's not going to be tolerated anymore. But the thing is, what's crazy about that, we don't want it to be tolerated anymore, but unfortunately, it is tolerated. It's tolerated.
Look in the mirror, folks.
That's
All right.
real.
Look, you can point all you want to, but you got 3 fingers pointing back at you. There it is right there. There it is. Was it Jim coming in hot? Yeah, let's see. Those other powerhouse teams probably have trans females competing.
Ooh.
Woo, wait, man, let me put Jim up here. He'll okay. Those other powerhouse teams probably have trans females competing, so best of luck to them.
I ain't gonna get in that argument. Not tonight.
You coming in hot, brother. You coming. We have a guest that's been lined up. She did make it last week and didn't reach back out this week, but we gonna have that conversation. And I'm gonna save this particular comment right here, man. So we still gonna get deep into that. All right, man. Good night. Well, y'all on one tonight. Here we go. Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is Deion. He trying to do some good things. I think Deion has a good heart. At his core, at what he's trying to do, he really, I believe, I don't know the man, but I believe he is really trying to do good things for whatever institution, wherever he's working for, whatever students and whatever kids that he's around and he influences into. I really think he's trying to do the good thing. I saw a story come across, and here's the headline. Deion Sanders involved in off-field controversy as spring practice approaches at Colorado. Man, so I saw that and I said, oh, man, come on. Deion's not caught. He didn't get, no videos came out from him back in the day or something. He what happened, right? Because that's clickbait right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to summarize for you and tell you what's going on in Colorado where he is. Deion has changed the culture 100%. And the problem is there's an atheist group in Colorado that has issues and problems with Deion talking about religion, starting his practices with prayer, talking about the Bible, talking about do unto others as you would have it, talking about those types of topics. And this atheist group in Colorado has actually sent a formal complaint to the Buffaloes, to the school, saying Deion should not be infusing his religious beliefs and his religious views into the football program. So that is the off the field controversy that Deion Sanders has. The fact that he's trying to talk to these folks and put them on some type of straight and narrow and maybe righteous, but just talking to them about madness, but saying we're going to sit down together, we're going to pray before we get out there and hit the field. He's going to be a brother for a brother. It's going to be do unto him. He's having those conversations with the team, and there's an atheist group in Colorado that does not like that. What are we going to do?
Reminds me of when people didn't want Colin Kaepernick to take the knee, right?
Say that again, because I don't think everybody heard that. Let's make sure you say that just one more time.
It reminds me of when people didn't want Colin Kaepernick to take a knee. Like, what is wrong with him talking about God? And if you don't believe in God, then you don't have to listen to the conversation of not attending school. But the fact that he wants to bring awareness to God and pray for his players and quote things out of Scripture, it's fine. It's funny to me. It's funny to me. Atheists say they don't believe in God, but yet, they follow some of the quotes and scriptures that are within the Bible. People that do swastika quote the Bible all the time. They do things about the Bible all the time. It's the Christianity way. So
make it plain, brother.
All these different radical groups don't want to say they don't want to, have any religious influence, but yet they quote and do things about the Bible all the time. So what are you talking about? If you don't want your son or your daughter to attend Colorado because he talks about Bibles, then go to another school. Go to Utah. Go to a different school. Him as a coach, he should be able to run his program the way he wants. People are going to follow him the way they want to follow him, and he's going to lead the way he wants to lead. And the bottom line, at the end of the day, as long as he has successful in the field, everything is all good. No one cares about you. You don't like him to say prayer.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do now? Tell him you don't like the way he eats. You don't like the way he walks. Oh, no, you don't like the color of his skin.
Yeah.
You always gonna have something. You have an issue. So you know what? Those people that have a problem with it, I hope Deion gives them the big middle finger.
Yeah.
Tell them to go wherever they want to go and keep running this program the way they need to feel. I hate the fact that it's clickbait like that. They kind of trying to show that he's doing something bad. In when he's doing what he's doing in Colorado, which it's all good. And if there's a player on this team that doesn't believe what Deion's saying, man, all you do is kneel down and you tune it out.
Tune it out?
You just tune it out and keep on going and play. So
it's like Tallboy said, if you don't like him praying, you either just turn the game off until it starts, or if you on the squad and you don't like it, you go in the bathroom and you chill until it's time for you to suit up and get out there. It's insane.
You don't even do that, man. If he's saying a prayer, you just kneel down. You don't put your head down. You just kneel down with the rest of the team. Okay, cool. Prayer's over. Amen. Let's get on the field.
let's
go
to work.
Speak.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything. You just stay there and just be quiet. Be respectful of people's religions. It need to be like prison. In prison, the Muslims do their thing. People just respect them and let them do their thing. Yep. People go to church in jail. They just respect them and let them do their thing. These guys on the floor, just let them respect them and do their thing. If you don't agree with it, you just don't say nothing. It's that simple. Why do we have to make? I don't understand why people just again attention. They just want attention.
That's what it is.
So they want to make a big deal.
Yeah. So let me read this for because after this we're going to do the audio podcast piece. I want to do this because it won't be visual. But so from the Freedom from Religious Foundation, the letter that they wrote, it is our understanding that on December 20th, 2022, a staff member led other staff members in a Christian prayer to start an official meeting. More egregiously, man, these big old words. I barely got through high school. Anyways, on January 16, 2023, Coach Sanders directed a staff member to lead players and coaches in Christian prayer before team meeting. Mm-hmm. It appears from these examples that Coach Sanders includes prayer in all his team meetings and events and likely prays regularly with the team. Let me go back to the headline again. Coach Sanders is involved in an off-the-field controversy. This is the controversy, folks. All right. That's it. I'm done. I'm gonna look at the comments now. Nobody was saying that when Tim Tebow was preaching religion at Florida and Urban Meyer with his evil butt was riding. Come on.
That's on point right there.
Tony Davis in the building. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. That's it right there. That's slapping folks in the mouth.
Yeah. Like I said, Tony, they have a problem with his skin tone. That's what it is. It's a problem with his skin tone.
Wow. That was
his skin tone and preaching religion. Oh, that's too taboo. Can't let him have that. We gotta bring some attention to that. They're attention whores, man. That's all it is. I said it. Attention whores. They're attention whores and they're addicted to attention. So they don't want to cause any mischief and havoc to throw Deion off his path of what he's trying to do. Not buying it.
No. Dion gonna stay focused. He gonna
Yeah,
stay
yeah,
focused on. Hey, see, I threw that in there. Come on now. And
yeah,
we
yeah.
gonna
I
we
like
gonna
that.
end
Like,
on that. There. Listen, we did what we had to do tonight, folks. Appreciate everyone for joining. I see a lot of new folks. That's a good
keep telling
sign.
friends. Keep telling
Yeah.
friends. I'm
Tell
telling you,
somebody, tell folks to roll
we
through.
got
We
something
do
different.
this
We got something
every
different on this.
Wednesday. You know, we touch on those social impact. We touch on them hard, awkward subjects. Man, and
Yep.
I know it's tough. I know it's tough, but we only gonna learn if we have these conversations. We only gonna get better if we have these conversations. Montel, take us home, man.
Yeah. Everyone out there, be comfortable having an uncomfortable conversation. Salute the power of no. We out.
That's it, y'all. We out.